so bold. Seen your mom and dad and that's so cold. Love will save your soul. I'm feeling so alone and growing old. Climb on up the stairs, man, you got sold. Lost my train of thought and now I'm told. Love will save your soul. I'm feeling so alone and growing old. Got a sneaking sense your hunts for gold. Teachers cracking rules and now parole. Love will save your soul. I'm feeling so alone and growing old.
Lively metropolis has become merely a shell of its glory days. The enormous corporate offices that nearly touch the clouds are now dark and empty, except for one Marcus Henderson residing on the top floor of Necro Lab. He sits on the ledge outside of a large open window, dangling his feet, taking a drag from a cigarette. He surveys the little bit of city that was visible in the fog. It's the same view he's seen every day, and nothing ever changes. But still, he feels as if he must float. Perhaps one day the fog will lift, and it will reveal Fairview in all of its glory. There will be businessmen rushing to meetings, performers on the streets, and even the old homeless man and his dog who sat across the street from his office. Marcus always had a soft spot for that pair, the man and his dog. He brought them both something for lunch every day he worked. The old man was always grateful as could be every time Marcus showed up. The two men would even chat for a good 10 minutes, taking turns petting the giant dog. He hasn't seen them in 2 weeks. He hasn't seen anyone. Marcus takes another long and soothing drag. He'd never smoked until now. His family saw it as repulsive. But hell, what family is there now? For all Marcus knows, he could be the last man on earth. Crazy how things can go to the birds so fast, he thinks. He flicks the cigarette away and watches it fall until the scattering ashes burn out. He looks back out to the fog, knowing he can never go back home, to her. Never again will she smile at him as he came home, followed by a hug and a kiss, and usually a nice dinner waiting for him, except for the nights he took her out. He remembered her infectious laugh when he told her silly jokes, and her warm smile when he had a tough day, one hand on his shoulder and one on her belly. Marcus winces and shuts out the thoughts soon to follow. He still gazes up to the fog, where the place he once called home is concealed. The good memories are shrouded by nightmares, much like the city in the fog. It's not the fog itself, but rather the truth it conceals. But Marcus knows it's only a matter of time before he must go back.
That was a lot of characterization in just a few short paragraphs, which is awesome. I mean, we find out a lot about Marcus and his character in just those few short paragraphs. A lot about his life. We see the fact that, you know, he cares about other people because he cares about this homeless person and his dog, right? Mm-hmm. We see that he is no longer with his wife, and I'm assuming she was pregnant and something happened. We don't know yet what. All right, so we see, you know, that he is no longer with his wife, or at least, you know, something is going on there. All right, and the fog, the fog is one of those tropes that is used a lot, but I think the line about the fog covering the truth, or it's not, the truth that the fog conceals, so it's a really good line.
All I wanted was love. This thought ran through Megan's head as she stared up at the gray black sky. She formed a brilliant crimson pool on the wet black ground of the alley. She thought of how ironic it was that she should die this way. The red pool around her slowly expanded from the brushed cavity in her torso. All around her was silent except for the fading drapery in her heart. All that seemed clear was the vast expanse of sky above her. While people buzzed about and lights flashed, all she could do was try to understand how things had ended this way. It had started as a normal day. The only thing different was that she had to wear the uniform on Saturday. The familiar ghost-white blouse, blood-red blazer, and granite gray skirt hadn't felt any different. She gripped herself and put a silver revolver named Lucy into her bag as always. It had been a birthday present from her father when she was 13 years old. She then flitted out the door and back to her brother's truck, which he only begrudgingly lent her, and drove to the school. When she arrived, she stashed her bag under the seat and went to find the teacher. After finding out where she was stationed and being scolded for having forgotten her tie, she was sent to the candy alley. The home ec teacher was there to explain to her how to work the different devices, although the entire time she mostly thought, whatever happened to the microwave caramel apples we were crazy?
Alright. Comments?
The script is undead on it. Just lower it. Sort of like.
Okay, so she, how old is she now? She was 13 when she got the gun, but.
She's about 17.
Okay, so she's 17. Alright, so rising senior, like she's a senior or she's a junior?
Junior, because this is like spring carnival at school.
Okay.
Well, it's made clear in later paragraphs where it actually mentions it's the carnival and stuff.
Okay. I think it's a good start, like already knowing, doing that and then flashing back. So I think that this, it's a good start because it's already going to pique interest and want to see, you know, well, how did that, you know, how did she get there? So, so I think it's a good start. Again, like Steven said, strong descriptions so far. So, how many of you already want to know more about the lead character?